Hey guys, this is Billy from Movie Cricket. Just introducing our interview with Scott Adkins, which we did today. We had loads of fun talking to him about all of his movies, the Undisputed series, Close Range, Zero Tolerance, Expendables 2, of course. So check out the interview and let us know what you think. Cheers.
No, it's great to get a chance to talk to you, Scott. We've been looking to do something for quite a while now, so it's good to catch up with you.
Yeah, cool. We got a good website. Just checked it out.
Oh, thanks very much. That's great. My co-worker James, who's
before.
with me today, he actually got me into your films back in 2008.
Yeah.
Was it with the
Oh,
Shepherd?
right.
Yeah, the Shepherd Border Patrol. Wicked film.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah.
It's really cool. So let's talk some movies then.
Okay, buddy.
We noticed recently that Ninja Shadow of a Tear came out in the stores.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you prefer playing these sort of martial arts roles rather than your sort of regular action film roles?
Well, martial arts is a big passion of mine. Started it when I was 10 years old. I was a big Bruce Lee fan, followed by Jean-Claude Van Damme and Jackie Chan and all the usual suspects.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess I harbored this dream as a kid to do what they did. But I took the action side of it seriously, went to drama school and all the rest of it.
Cool.
And I've done plenty of straight action jobs, in British TV and some films. But of course, I'm most well known for the martial arts stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that because I'm very passionate about it. Very passionate about the filming of fight sequences and stuff in movies. I think it's a pure cinematic experience. To be able to shoot a fight scene is not an easy thing to do, and you've got to be a good action director to do it. Yeah, and I guess there's a chance to get pigeonholed as a martial arts guy, but ultimately I think I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's great. It's a cool thing it's a very niche thing to be part of, being a renowned sort of martial arts star. So it's
getting a bit too niche. That's the problem. It's getting a bit too niche.
Well, speaking of martial arts movies as well, you went from playing a villain in Undisputed 2 to the hero in Undisputed 3. So not many actors can sort of say they've gone from having a cult following from being a villain to playing the star in a later film. So we've heard some rumours recently that there might be a Boyka Undisputed 4. Have you got anything you can tell us about that?
Yeah, it's definitely something that we're pursuing. We're working on the scripts at the moment, trying to get all the different departments happy with what we're trying to do. It's taking longer than I want, to be honest. But it's difficult financing these films because in this day and age, those types of straight to DVD or straight to video films, they don't make the sort of money that they used to make in the 90s, early 2000s. So it's a bit of a precarious business at the moment. That's why it's taking so long. But definitely, we're all trying to get it going because we appreciate what following that character of Boyka has, and I love playing that character and can't wait to return to him. And we've got some good ideas on where to take the character.
That's awesome. Awesome. So the opposite of these sort of straight to DVD, low budget films, of course, is the Expendables. You're a big part in the Expendables. What was it like to sort of play a role alongside sort of Arnold Schwarzenegger, still Sylvester Stallone, all those guys? What was it like to be in a film with all those?
Oh, of course, it was amazing. I kind of felt like it was kind of like receiving the badge of honor from the big boys. It's kind of like being welcomed into the club and them saying, okay, you've earned your stripes as an action player, kid. You can come and play with the big boys now. So, of course, it was a huge honor.
That's awesome.
As a fan, just to see them, to sit down and watch them in the movie would have been fantastic, as it was for everyone. But to actually be there on set and to share stories with these legends was something I'll never forget. And I'm just ashamed that my head came off in the second one and couldn't come back for the third one, isn't it?
That's amazing.
But somebody's got to die.
Scott. You live in all of our dreams.
Did you get a chance
there you go.
to work out with Arnold at all?
I did, yeah. He was in the gym, and of course we're all stopping in the same hotel, and I'm in the gym, and Arnold comes down, and it just so happened that he was training his back, and I was training my back, and we get talking, and we're both training our back together, and then he's training me, and if you're going to weight train with anyone on the planet, it's going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, isn't it? So can tick that one off the list.
Living the dream, Scott.
Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd get Jim to do his Arnold impression for you, but I think I'll spare you with that.
Couldn't possibly.
Go on, I always enjoy a good Arnold impression.
Oh no, come on. Don't be silly.
Oh yeah, you hit the A so well.
God. One of those
Brilliant.
training back, and his catchphrase is "I'll be back."
Here we go. So yeah, while we're still on Expendables, obviously your rivalry with Statham was actually one of the highlights of the film, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So you're sort of used to doing multiple fight scenes in all of your movies. So were you happy with the payoff from that particular fight scene with Jason?
Well, I would have liked it to have been a bigger fight, but that's just me being greedy, I guess. There's a lot of stars in that movie, and they've all got to have their time, and there's not enough time to do that sometimes. Yeah, Statham's really cool, great guy. Had a blast filming it with him. We only had one day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had to shoot it pretty quick. But also, I had a really bad knee injury in 2011.
Oh, wow.
I think it was March, and we were filming that from October to December. And at that point, I should have got surgery on my knee way before then, but I had Universal Soldier, then El Gringo, and then it was the Expendables, and if I'd gone and got the surgery, I wouldn't have been able to have done the film. So, but at that point, we was in Bulgaria in the winter. It was so cold, and my knee had just completely seized up. And every time I threw a kick, it was excruciating pain. But you know, you got to do it. I wouldn't change it because that was a major opportunity for me, of course. But it was difficult.
No, what did you do to your knee then?
I tore my ACL.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's a career-ending injury, that, for a footballer, isn't it?
Yeah, especially for a martial artist. But I'm happy to say that I got the surgery, and a year and a half later, 2 years probably, it's probably 90%.
That's good. That's
good.
Brilliant.
Even with a broken knee, though, you'd obviously kick Statham's ass in real life, right?
Well, I wouldn't want to comment on that. But, no, he's a great guy.
Awesome. So you were a little bit disappointed to be killed off in Expendables then? Like, would you have liked to have taken...
I'm disappointed now. I'm disappointed now. At the time it was like, just let me in the film. I'll do anything. I'll be an extra. And then when it's all said and done and it's been released, it's like, oh.
Yeah, I bet. Cheers. So what are your thoughts that Expendables is going to be a PG-13 this time round?
You know what? Everybody's going crazy about it. I saw that, but it's not such a big deal. If you look at the second one, you know, it was pretty much PG-13 anyway. Yeah. The tone of the first Expendables was quite serious, quite dour at times, and there was some hyper-violence going on, Rambo style. But the second one was more comedic, and I don't think a PG-13 rating would have hindered that at all. I mean, that was the tone that they were going for. I hear that the third is meant to be somewhere in between the first and the second, so I you know, it's not going to be a problem. I watched the new X-Men the other day, which I loved, and it's pretty vicious at times. When Wolverine took out those guys, you know, they didn't pull any punches. There wasn't any blood, but it was still quite, you know, this is pretty hardcore. So it doesn't bother me, to be honest. Not with the Expendables. If it was Rambo, maybe, but not with the Expendables.
I actually thought the second one was a lot more fun. I mean, like you said, the first was really serious and maybe a bit too serious for its own good, considering it's going to be a bit of a love letter, you know, to... Well,
they're all in it playing themselves, aren't they, at the end of the day? You can't take it too seriously. I think I was the only one that wasn't playing myself.
So you mentioned X-Men there. We've got sort of X-Men related question. Deadpool movie has recently been announced with Ryan Reynolds in the lead role. Obviously, you did the stunts for Ryan in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Is there any chance you might make a comeback and do the Deadpool stunts again?
No, I don't believe so. I don't expect to get a phone call for that.
That's a shame.
Well, at the end of the day, you can get anyone to do stunts for any of these characters. I mean, you know, Batman included. As soon as you just put a martial artist in the suit, and you can't really tell who it is, especially with Deadpool if he's going to wear his costume.
Yeah. So you'd like to do the stunts for Batman, Scott?
No, I'm just saying, you know, it can be anyone. It can be anyone. Stuntmen are expendable.
Here we go.
It's the Expendables that aren't expendable.
Good fun. So, yeah, similarly, what was it like to kick Wolverine in his famous mutton chops?
Yeah, a lot of fun. I tell you, when I was doing that film, we're filming the whole sequence where we're up on the towers, and obviously I'm fighting Sabretooth and Wolverine. And I just remember being on this big green screen, and they had the wind blowing, and they had this rig that was 360 degrees. The camera was moving around us, and you'd have to wait for that to pick up speed, and it'd start to whir, and it'd make this noise, and then the wind's blowing, and that's making the noise. And I look, and either side of me, I've got Wolverine and Sabretooth both getting into character, going all feral, doing all this. This is before they scream action. 3, 2, 1, action! And I got to be honest, I shit myself. They were really going for it. I was just thinking, man, I'm just trying to remember the choreography here. But quite a surreal experience.
That's cool.
But I have to say that Hugh Jackman is such a lovely guy. I mean,
is he really?
Oh, for real. It's obvious when you listen to him in interviews and stuff. I'm sure it's quite clear, but honestly, the nicest guy I've ever met in my life. He's got time for everybody on set. He's a great human being.
That's cool. So, with your sort of area of expertise, could you see yourself being involved in like a superhero film again in the future?
Well, yeah, for sure. It makes a lot of sense. But as I say, a lot of the times, they're going to get an actor, the best actor that they can possibly get. And when it comes to doing the action, it can be anyone in the suit. Mm-hmm. So I'd love to do it, though, of course.
If you could play a superhero, who would it be, Scott?
Oh.
Take your time.
Do you know what? I would love to play the Punisher.
Oh, really? That's a really cool one.
I think I'd be a great Punisher.
That's awesome.
Let's put that out there. The critics can all slate me, but there you go. I'm putting it out there.
I'd start a campaign.
I could see that.
If you do a campaign, then the odds are it will absolutely never happen. So let's just pretend that Marvel didn't hear me say it.
Cool. All right. So Patrick Hughes is he's about to make a US remake of The Raid. It's been pushed back a little bit, but that's happening. Speaking of roles that we could see you playing, we could definitely see you getting involved with this. Like, with me and Jim were speaking before, we can't really think of another actor and martial artist other than yourself who'd be so perfect for the role. So could you see yourself getting involved with the US Raid?
Yeah, I could see it, absolutely. I would love it. And, we're talking about the comic book stuff. You can put anyone in the suit, but for a film like that, I feel that you need real action guys that can take care of business on screen, and you see that it's actually them doing it.
Definitely.
Certainly that's what the original was. But, it's Hollywood. They're probably not going to go that way. But, we'll see. I'd be open to it, but that's as far as it's gone at the moment.
What did you think of the Raid movies as well, Scott?
Say that again?
What did you think of the Raid movies?
Oh, absolutely love it. Huge fan of Gareth Evans, and he just completely blew me away. Yeah. He's a great director. I love the sequel as well, and he's one to watch out for. Can't wait to see what film he makes when he actually, does one in Hollywood and makes the move and does a Hollywood movie. That'll be fantastic to see which route he goes.
Definitely. He's another Brit flying the flag, isn't he? He's from Wales.
Absolutely, yeah. Blew my mind when I realised he was from Wales and making his films in Indonesia. But yeah,
a young lad from uni, isn't he? It's amazing.
Yeah, and to talk to him and listen to him, his influences are exactly the same as what mine are. He's grown up watching the same sorts of films, and he's a martial arts film geek, and he just wants to put his stamp on it and make those types of films. So I absolutely get where he's coming from, and I think he's a huge talent. And I really hope I get to work with Gareth at some point.
We do too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, thanks.
Young, talented action directors. You worked with John Hyams recently, and he's someone who I think could be huge in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, Universal Soldier 4, it was a crazy film, maybe a little bit too complex for some people, but the action was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, well, once again, I mean, his style is very similar to Gareth's, actually, where he doesn't want to employ the use of slow motion, and he doesn't want to glorify the action in that way. He wants to show it, in full speed, real time, and really show the impact and the violence of what's going on. And it's great to watch. You really get a kick out of it. I was a huge fan of what he did with the Universal Soldier Regeneration. That took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting what he was going to do with that. I thought it was amazing. And I'm very, very proud of Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning that I'm in. I think it's a great piece of cinema. And as you say, I think the critics really responded to it, but the normal movie-going public, they were expecting a sort of silly slap-bang action movie and weren't prepared to really think about what was going on. And I think that's why I got a bit of a negative response from just the general movie-going public, that it just wanted a silly action film. But yeah, I'm very proud of that film.
Definitely. I think if you got it and you understood kind of the references, like it was kind of a bit like Apocalypse Now, that kind of.
Yeah.
I think if you got it and you got the wink and the nods, everyone really enjoyed it. But yeah,
he's a great director, and again, I can't wait to see what he does next. And I don't know what's taking so long. He needs to make another movie quick. These are the guys. He's a director that should be employed much, much more. Definitely. It's sometimes it's just not fair.
See, I could see him doing an Expendable film down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for John, probably, knowing him, the reason why he hasn't done a follow-up is, he's not a hack. He wants to make sure he's doing something he believes in.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's good. So let's before we talk about your current projects, Scott, me and Jim, we like going to the gym, don't we?
Oh yeah.
So you're obviously a lot busier than us all the time, Scott. So I was wondering how you keep in such great shape in between all your movies.
Well, in between my movies, to be honest, my job is going to the gym. You know what I mean? It's not that hard for me. I'm in a position where I've got to keep myself fit waiting for the next project. So it's a lot easier than somebody that works a 9-to-5 job. But, you look at the people like Hugh Jackman and The Rock and myself, we're all prepared to get up at 5 in the morning and go to the gym and then do a full day's work, 16 hours on a film set, and then come back and hit the gym again and then learn your lines and get prepared for the next day. And people, I think they take for granted how hard making an action film actually is, because not only are you doing as much as any other actor would do, but you've got all the physical stuff that you're going to do on the film set in the day. But that still means you've got to come back and hit the gym before bed and get up in the morning and do your cardio. So it really is, 3 times the workload. And
definitely.
don't seem to get enough credit for it.
Boyka, you were huge. You were massive.
Yeah.
How
There's no substitute for hard work.
Lots of hard work.
Definitely.
So, yeah, let's talk about your current projects then, Scott. So, you're playing Colton McReady, is that right? In Close Range?
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully.
The production stalled a little bit.
Right.
But hopefully it's ramping up again soon.
Cool.
But that's a really cool script. It's going to be with Isaac Florentine directing, who's obviously my favourite director.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be our 8th or 9th film together, I guess. We've got a great working relationship, and we both know what needs to be done. And I think Isaac likes working with me because I'll put 110% into the film and be there when he needs me, and all the rest that I was just talking about. And I love working with Isaac because he's a dear friend, a lovely guy, and he's a fantastic action director, one of the best in the business.
Definitely.
And it's a cool script, and hopefully we get enough time to shoot it and make it what we want it to be.
Yeah, from what I can tell about your character, he's like a rogue soldier turned outlaw. Is the quote that I've got from it. So it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, more of an outlaw, a badass character, sort of the way Boyka is.
Nice.
And one of these take no shit types, and a lot of fun to play.
Would you say that's your sort of your favourite type of character to play then?
I like to mess about playing all different types of characters, but I do enjoy playing that sort of character, and I also feel that it comes naturally to me for some reason. Not that I'm like that in real life, but for some reason I seem to have a good handle on how those parts are meant to be played.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you've also got Zero Tolerance coming out in October this year.
Is it October, is it? Okay.
According to IMDb.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was a funny one, to be honest. The film was already shot, and they decided that they needed to do some reshoots and change some of the story, and they wanted to employ me to come into it and do some extra work on it. And director Chaos is a friend of mine, and just happy to be involved with people like Dustin and, Gary Daniels, although I don't have any scenes with Gary Daniels. I think I'll break that to people now. But most of my stuff's with Dustin.
Awesome.
And with Kane Kasugi, who's obviously great. And it was a lot of fun. Shot it in Thailand earlier this year.
Cool. So what else is in the future for you, Scott? What have you got coming up in the next year or so?
I don't really like to say, to be honest. I mean, obviously there's Undisputed 4 that we're trying to get off the ground. And there's some other things I just don't like to say because it's one of those superstition things. I don't want to tempt fate. As soon as I say it's happening, it normally doesn't happen. So maybe we should just say goodbye to Undisputed 4 now. But
we don't want that.
No, it's got to happen. It's got to happen.
Yeah. No. I don't like to say, but there's some irons in the fire. Just trying to do stuff that I believe in.
That's great.
Pick the right projects.
I guess after working with the biggest names in the action industry with Stallone and Arnold, what more could you want to achieve?
Well, just to be in their position, really.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. To keep climbing up the ladder and get bigger budgets to make the sort of films that I would like to make, or get into those A-list films. That's the goal, really. But very lucky to be in the position that I'm in. It's the only thing I ever wanted to do with my life, and may it long continue.
Definitely. Well, you've got the best job in the world, Scott. You get to be buff, then beat the shit out of people.
And get the shit kicked out of me.
Yeah, true.
You forgot about that.
Hopefully not as much as the ass kicking.
Yeah. It's so good, my job, when I get to square up against people like Andrei Arlovsky and have him hit me as hard as he can. I'm so lucky.
How much did that hurt?
Very much so. I didn't want to tell him at the time, but he was great. He was great. Can't wait to see him back in the UFC.
And were the baseball bats real in that fight scene?
They absolutely were. They were. The problem, the thing was, the baseball bats, the rubber ones, kept breaking. I think we had 4 lighter ones, and we went through those in about 4 takes. God. And then we were waiting for them to make some new ones, and it was going to take a couple of hours. Like, shit, we've only got 2 days to film this fight sequence. Bring out the real ones. Just give me the real bats. Andre was up for it, of course. He didn't give a shit. And we were just going at each other with these real baseball bats and a real axe. And
a real axe?
A real axe, yeah. Because they wanted to put the axe into the wood. And, of course, the rubber one's just going to bounce off there. And John's like, we really need this shot, guys. What are we going to do? Just get the real axe out, man.
Just put your body on the line.
Real axe at me. It's absolutely crazy.
That is commitment.
Best job in the world.
Definitely. Out of all your fights then, Scott, which would you say is the most satisfying for you looking back?
I've got to go for Undisputed 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Undisputed 3 with Marco Zaror. It's actually easier to film the fight sequences in the Undisputed films because we're in a ring and it's a confined environment. You've got a bit of a padded floor and, you just move around the ring. There's no smashing people through tables and we don't need all the props and stuff like that. So we were able to achieve a really long, I think the fights last for about 7 minutes. I was upset with Undisputed 2. I felt the end fight was sort of anticlimactic. So I really wanted to make sure we got a real good end fight for Undisputed 3, and we definitely achieved that. But I guess a close second is Ninja Shadow of a Tear with Kane Kasugi.
That was amazing.
But it really does, when you're working with somebody of Kane's caliber or Marco's caliber or I can't leave out Latif and so many fantastic martial artists I've had the chance to work with. When we have time to do it the way we want to do it, it's great, but you need to be working with somebody that can bring it as well as you can, and those guys definitely can.
Definitely.
That's awesome. Well, I think we've got everything we wanted there, Scott.
Yeah, that's been great. Thanks, Scott.
We'll have to catch up with you in a few months then when you've got some more productions announced.
Yeah, just resting, as we say at the moment.
Good lad. Earned it.
But yeah, I needed it. I needed to let the body rejuvenate.
Definitely. Take care of that knee, man. Get some peas on it.
Yeah, no, it's good now. I just worry about the other injuries.
Oh, what else is there gone wrong?
Oh, my whole body hurts, mate. I wake up in the morning and I feel like I'm walking on stumps.
Serious? I've got a herniated disc, so I can kind of understand that.
Yeah, it's all part of it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can enjoy seeing all your Villa players in the World Cup, Scott. So at least you've got that to look forward to over the summer.
Oh, God, that's going to be great.
All right, Scott, well, take it easy, man. It's been really great speaking to you. Thanks very much.
You too, guys. Thanks a lot.
Take it easy, Scott. Speak to you soon.
All right, then.